I don't even know where to start describing what happened in Chapter 298 of Blue Lock. In this episode, we witnessed the conclusion of the Neo-Egoist League, with a completely unexpected result between Barcha and Manshine City. Moreover, we saw the elimination of a player many considered invincible, or at least someone who would always be at the top thanks to his natural talent for soccer. But too many things happened, and we need to go over them all, because this chapter starring Yoichi once again broke the internet. I don't want to stretch out the introduction any longer, so let's get started with the video. In the first half of the chapter, we see Nagi attempting to score a goal on his own, returning to the mentality he had at the start of the Neo-Egoist League, playing without depending on Ryo. According to his own words, relying on Ryo limits him, as he always trusts that Ryo will be there to help him, which makes him completely lose himself. It's touching when he tells Ryo that with that goal he has already secured his spot in the U-20 World Cup, but now it's Nagi's turn to earn his own. With this mindset, he begins playing with newfound determination, teaming up with Agi, who responds with a smile upon seeing this new version of Nagi. Meanwhile, Ryo tries to support him, but Nagi ignores him, making it clear that he wants to surpass his own limits. Something curious is that Chigiri didn't appear to back Nagi up, which is strange because he never helped him in his attempt to score. However, when Nagi is one-on-one with the goalkeeper, Otoya intercepts him and leaves him in a tough spot. At this moment, for the first time in his life, Nagi admits to feeling fear. In a desperate attempt, he decides to pass the ball to Ryo, realizing that he no longer wants to be alone. He prefers to play with Ryo because he's the one who pushes him to be his best version. But this thought is destroyed in seconds when Bachira intervenes. Anticipating that Nagi would once again rely on Ryo, Bachira intercepts the ball, leaving everyone in shock. It hurts to see Nagi so lost and scared. The fact that he didn't know how to react after losing the ball multiple times led him to depend on Ryo again, hoping to be rescued once more. In the end, this dependence was his downfall. At first, many thought Ryo was the most dependent one, but it became clear that Nagi is even more so. And this becomes even sadder considering what happens next. When Bachira steals Nagi's pass, he gives him the same look that Nagi gave him in their past match when Isagi and Rin's teams faced off, where Nagi humiliated him by saying that he wouldn't be chosen because he wasn't at the necessary level. Now Bachira returns those words to him, telling him that if he isn't willing to die giving his all at that moment, then he doesn't have what it takes to be a true egoist. Then, he leaves everyone behind and advances until he's one-on-one with the opposing goalkeeper. Here's where something incredible happens. No one steps in to stop him. Not the Messi of Aomori, not the U-20 defender, not even Chigiri, who once again leaves his sector unprotected, not caring what Bachira does. Only Hiragi tries to mark him, but Bachira easily surpasses him. When he faces the goalkeeper, he performs one of his signature moves and finishes with a powerful shot, scoring the goal that seals the 3-2 victory for Barcha and ends the match. To be honest, no one expected Barcha to beat Manshine City. No one imagined that Manshine would end up in last place, or that Nagi would perform so poorly. In fact, quite the opposite. People thought he would score a hat-trick, climb into the top 10, or even the top 5 rankings. But that didn't happen. Manshine City wasn't up to par, and Barcha surprised everyone with Bachira shining once again as the supreme egoist. Now it's time to talk about the final rankings of the players qualified for the U-20 World Cup. While Bachira was celebrating his goal, the final standings of the Neo-Egoist League were revealed. Many believed that the 5th spot would be contested between Nagi, Ryo, and Bachira. And in the end, it was Bachira who, with his brace, reached a value of 120 million. Chigiri came in 6th with 90 million, followed by Ryo in 7th with 78 million. From the 8th spot onward, the rankings got more complex. Kunigami took 8th place. His ability to control Shido earned him a solid position. In 9th was Otoya, who had a great match against Manshine, and Oliver Aiku closed out the top 10. Then, in what I consider a robbery, Karasu came in 11th. He should have been much higher since he had an amazing match against Bastar, and his new Metavision will be crucial. In 12th was Gagamaru, the best goalkeeper in the league, who in my opinion deserved a higher value. Aryu and Yukimiya followed, with Yukimiya being the lowest valued among the top 5 players of Blue Lock. Further down, we had Nico, followed by Hiyori, who I also think deserved a higher value. But since he only played a game and a half, he couldn't aim for more. In 17th was Sendo, the second most unnecessary player on this list. Given the number of forwards available, his presence is totally unnecessary. A simple rebound goal was enough to get him into the World Cup. Unbelievable. Rank 18 went to Corona, well-deserved as he had a great league performance. At 19 was Santetsu, who I think could have been left out, but his inclusion is interesting. And the 20th spot, a complete robbery, Fukaku, someone who contributed nothing and only played 20 minutes in the Neo Egoist League. When he was on the field, his team lost against Bastar München, and Isagi scored a fantastic goal against him. And for those who think he played against Mannheim in the last match versus Ubers, you're wrong. When Nagi took his shot and Oliver blocked it, the goalkeeper was the Italian one, not Fukaku. His inclusion is ridiculous, but I guess they needed 2 goalkeepers, so they threw him in. Moving on, in 21 Stone's place was Raichi, who absolutely deserves to go. In 22nd was Kiora, who later appeared in Nagi's spin-off, and his assist to Kaiser meant he was definitely not getting left out. That left just one final spot for the World Cup. Everyone was wondering, what about Nagi? Well, there were 3 possible candidates for the spot: Nagi, Nanase, and Tokimitsu. The monk could have been in the running too, but he didn't get many chances. In the end, the 23rd spot went to Nanes, and in a shocking turn of events, in 24th place, with a value of 24 million and missing out on the World Cup, was Nagi, making this a worldwide surprise. Look, it's understandable that Nagi lost value, but I absolutely can't believe he ranked below several players on this list. The reason is clear: many of Mannheim's goals conceded came from his mistakes. Aside from the first goal of the match, he didn't contribute much. His fear and dependence on Rio led to this unexpected outcome. Will he be eliminated from the project? Will he get another chance? Only time will tell. It's hard to imagine a U-20 World Cup without Nagi, a player with so much talent and popularity, the protagonist of a spin-off and a movie. He went from scoring against Japan's U team and making the on goal of the century against Bastar to being left out of the selection. Other notable absences include Tokimitsu, Hiragi, and Aomori Smokeseller, but Nagi's exclusion is by far the most shocking. We're going to miss Nagi a lot. Without a doubt, Blue Lock Chapter 298 was insane. The next chapter is titled Blue Tears Ties, and it's sure to give us unforgettable moments. We'll see what happens next. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!